Welcome everyone. Let me know if my mic is working properly. Well, if you hold crypto, if you hold BTC, XRP, I think this will be a critical update. So you want to watch this until the end, especially if you're trying to understand what the heck is happening to your portfolio. I'm going to be looking some charts. I'm going to give you some key levels on the charts. I'm also going to be answering some questions from the audience. So very happy to interact with every single one of you. Let's begin with BTC charts. Definitely not looking great right now. I mean, let's try to understand what's happening. I know this is related to geopolitical tensions. Just a second. Yeah, this sucks. Yes, this chart sucks. Greetings, everyone. Let me just fix my camera. I think I like more like this. So we did have some news with Donald Trump and Greenland. I have not gone into full details, but things are getting bad. So there are geopolitical tensions. And I want to highlight some of the key levels here, especially with BTC, because to this day, BTC still dictates the entire crypto markets and XRP is still following BTC. So can you guys hear me loud and clear? Is my mic working good? I have been traumatized by my mic running out of battery a couple of times. I'm going to be talking about HBAR also. I got a question there. So first thing for BTC is that, I'm just checking the live chart here, just a second. I need to grab my phone. And BTC is actually right now trading at $88,000. We lost some important resistance level. So $92,000 was an important resistance level on the chart. And right now, I think we're going to see lower levels. I'm not liking this price action right now because it's not bouncing back. And this is a bad sign. It has not been only like a red week or something. Just we got like 2 days ago when I did the previous live streaming. The situation now is deteriorating quite quickly. So the next level we want to watch is for $74,000. And well, I don't want to think of that scenario because losing $74,000, I think we can say like 100% the bull run is over. If that happens and BTC doesn't recover quickly, that would be a very catastrophic scenario. One of the reasons is because also MicroStrategy average purchasing price is about $73,000 or $74,000, which goes very close to the support levels on the chart. So that's not a coincidence, and that would force a massive liquidation event from MicroStrategy. I mean, they are buying BTC with someone else's money. They are borrowing it from creditors, so they are not using their own money. And it would be on the best interest of creditors for MicroStrategy to liquidate their positions. Ultimately, they will not have a choice. Now, to understand why is this happening, we need to go back in time. And the most important thing, and it's very interesting in the crypto space, nobody has talked about this in this cycle. I was basically, me and Versan were some of the only people that were doing videos about some of the red flags on the charts. And even when XRP was near to the all-time high and BTC was $120,000, I was actually making videos and saying that the bull run was in risk. And one of the reasons, so this is actually fundamental if you want to understand what's happening, is that you need to watch for the volume on the chart. So you need to spot something very unique. First, financial institutions like BlackRock's, the Grayscales, the hedge funds, they were accumulating BTC. And please look here down on the chart at the bottom. 2014, there was a very high volume on the chart. 2016, there was a very high volume on the charts. I am zooming out so you can actually see this pattern very clear. And then all the way to 2018, 2022, and basically onwards, the volume has quite disappeared. And the only high volume that we see for 2025, basically on this cycle, is for selling. So that means that, well, I'm going to get on that in a second because I'm going to elaborate. But just what you need to understand, you don't need a high volume to make new all-time highs. Hence why, despite of having a high selling pressure on the charts right now, what happens is that you don't have support levels. That's what you need to understand. And that's why now BTC can drop in a day $5,000-$6,000 in just a couple of minutes, exactly because we don't have buyers. You have less active participants on the markets. If you see the interest on BTC now is nearly at all-time lows, and I think the ultimate proof of that is that when you meet, if you invest in crypto, you know what I am talking about. You go for a family dinner, nobody's asking you about crypto because nobody's really paying attention to BTC anymore. Now, of course, that impacts XRP. At some points, there will be a decouple from XRP to BTC. And now just what I call here, this is exactly what I wanted to show you. So 74,436,000 is the MicroStrategy average price. Now, there is one concerning pattern that's happening with BTC right now. Let me just come back full screen. Is that I made a video and it's about dormant BTC wallets from Satoshi era coins from 2011. Those coins were inactive for 16 years. So the first time someone touched these wallets was back in 2025, so basically last year. And I have been tracking those wallets once again. Well, if you haven't watched some of my videos, I did an on-chain investigation that resulted in my account to be basically banned from Twitter. But the whole point here is that those wallets are once again on the move. So this is very concerning because I have seen tranches of 2,000, 2,500 BTC. And basically what they are doing is that they are sending these coins to multiple crypto exchanges. Those coins are hitting Binance, they are hitting Coinbase, they are hitting Kraken. I have been tracking this on chain. And basically on tranches of 250 BTC, they are just basically selling it. So they are dumping massive amounts of dormant BTC on the markets. And someone says, don't track my wallets. Are you selling all your BTC to buy XRP? Well, that makes sense. But yeah, so I am very concerned for the markets in the short and mid-term. I think XRP is going to be affected as well, unfortunately. And I'm going to come with some key levels for XRP because we also have to be looking for what's next for XRP. But I have to be very realistic. Although I wanted to come here and tell you that XRP is going to be at $10 tomorrow. That ain't happening, unfortunately. I am trying to keep it as real as possible. I'm preparing you for both scenarios. And this is XRP charts. And what we have to see right now is that it has also it's very close to the support level on the chart. So let me just, it's not a coincidence, by the way. So basically XRP is actually now at $1.88, which I made a streaming 2 days ago. And I said to everyone that I thought it was a good buying opportunity. And indeed it was. Here, as you can see, it has bounced back. But this time I see a different pattern because it's not bouncing. I mean, last time it was a week. We had this week. If you had buy orders, you got to buy XRP even at $1.85. But this is more concerning because I'm not seeing a reversal right now. So, of course, it's not black and white. The daily candle is not yet closed. So we have to be watching for when it's going to, how it's going to play out in the next 48 hours. So I don't have an answer of what's going to happen. But what you want to watch for XRP is $1.60. Basically, if XRP loses $1.60, I don't want even to think about that scenario if that happens. But if XRP loses $1.60, there is a high chance we could see XRP below $1 once again. So if you have money sitting on the sidelines, I think that will be a great buying opportunity. I'll be positioning my greatest buying orders near to $1.60. Honestly, I hope that level will not be lost on the chart, but I am psychologically ready. If that happens, then I'm going to be rolling out some stop losses for the bags of XRP that I trade. I'm not touching the cold wallets. I don't think that's necessary. But at about $1.60, we have to be very, very conservative because it's a key level on the chart. That's why I highlight as a danger zone. And I have to be very honest, guys. Losing $1.60, I would not be surprised that XRP could even fall to levels like 70 cents. I would not be surprised. And be very mindful if you have leverage positions. This market's not looking great on the short term. Now, of course, on the long term, we just see now at Davos 2026, everything is about tokenizing real world assets. So I am extremely bullish on XRP on the long term. But you have to understand, you might have to hold your bags longer than you initially thought. And why I am telling you this, because there has been a lot of price predictions and deadlines on the community, which I completely disagree with. And this only resulted in false expectations and people getting very frustrated because ultimately they were thinking, by December, I'm going to be a multimillionaire, but that's not how it plays out. I think all these price predictions and deadlines were designed to make you quit. Do you really understand why I am being realistic? Because if you are not prepared, for what's coming, for corrections, you might get wiped out. You get impatient, you use leverage, people get liquidated. This is why I am being realistic. Of course, I am not saying the bull run is fundamentally over yet. We have to be watching for these key levels on the chart. The good news is that when you have you guys been watching the videos from Davos 2026? Well, if you haven't, you should, because it's everything that we have been predicting on this channel and also with Versan and in the turning point. Everything is happening. It's just a matter of time. Now, let me have a look at some comments. I'll be answering a few questions of you. And by the way, let me just drink some tea here. By the way, it's actually 2 a.m. in Greece, so it's very late my time. Crypto doesn't allow me to sleep. I got so many notifications on my phone, and I knew it was time for a live streaming. Let's bring back some charts on the screen, and I'm going to be taking some time to answer a few questions. Okay, let's bring XRP, my favorite chart ever. Just a second, guys. I'm having some technical problems. Yeah, I have it. And right now, I know lots of people are wondering, is it a good time to buy? Well, right now is dangerous. We are very close to that support level on the chart at $1.87. Yes, Hedera is on the World Economic Forum. HBAR is going to be huge. HBAR is a different technology. It's not effectively a blockchain. It's called a hash graph, and a hash graph has a different way to process transactions. Basically, it's called the gossip mechanism. So the validators communicate to each other in a different way than traditional blockchain systems. It's more energy efficient than most blockchains. The nodes actually communicate with the gossip mechanism, where they communicate in a different way than traditional blockchains like proof of work and proof of stake. So HBAR has a tremendous future, especially when you look to Hedera's governing council, and you have entities like LG, you have IBM, you have central banks involved with Hedera. So it's definitely something to consider. Someone is asking about, let me see here. And by the way, this is not true, okay? So Ripple doesn't dump millions of XRP every month. The escrow is there designed for a reason, and is liquidity. The escrow is there to ensure there is enough liquidity for on-demand liquidity. If you see, Ripple has been the greatest buyer from XRP. Ripple has been the greatest XRP buyer from the open market since the SEC lawsuit came out. You can look, that information is public. So this is not true. Also, if that were to be true, then how come XRP was at 50 cents and it went above $3? Because on the same periodic times, they were releasing XRP from the escrow. So if the price was going up, it means they were not selling it. They have not been selling it. That's just a misconception. Let's see some other questions here. Velo, yes. Well, so Velo, that's how I see it. I have spoken about Velo a couple of times, but I have made the primary focus on my live streamings always about SHX, because I spotted some weakness on the charts. So I don't see Velo making any huge moves in the next couple of months, but I do hold Velo. I have Velo in my cold wallets, but I don't trade it. I just think the chart's not looking great, not much price action, but the fundamentals are there. So if you bought Velo, you are down. Just DCA if you want to increase your position. And it's not a financial advice, by the way, but Velo has a tremendous future, but it's not something that's going to happen next month or next week. Oh, this is an easy question, man. Get some gold. I mean, you should have done it already. I'm not buying any BTC right now. Right now and since a long time ago. Is there any way of knowing how many available XRP are left on OTC dark pools and exchanges? Well, I have done some very unique... So let me explain how I once made a video and I calculated there was about 2.5 billion XRP left for retail investors. And I remember there is an account on Twitter, it's called XRP Wallets. He tracks down on-chain transactions. And I did the experiment myself. I went to Binance and multiple exchanges. And on the exchanges, you can select multiple pairs. So you can select XRP and USDT. You can select XRP USDC, not only dollars, euros, pesos, every single currency. And then you can just filter it for only the largest sell orders. So basically, when I made an experiment and I combined all XRP available for selling on all centralized exchanges with all possible pairs. And the result was about 2.5 billion XRP left for retail. So let's see if tomorrow BlackRock comes with, let's say, $5 billion and they want to purchase that amount of XRP. The maximum they could ever get was about 2.5 billion XRP, for the record. I don't know the updated numbers now. I have not done that in a while. But also understand that there is a bunch of OTC deals over the counter. So they also buy XRP over the counter, and that's specifically central banks and institutions like BlackRock. They usually don't get their XRP from the open markets, hence why the price is still sitting at $2. But once the supply shrinks and once there is less and less XRP on centralized exchanges, that's exactly when XRP's price is going to rise. This is a great question. So Monica Long has said stablecoins will be the global default for settlements bank to bank. What that means for XRP? Well, let me come full screen to answer that question. So the first thing you have to understand is that stablecoins, sorry, just fixing my chair here. So the first thing is that stablecoins don't replace XRP, because the primary reason Ripple developed XRP is not only for cross-border payments. Of course, you can tokenize on the XRP ledger, but it's for replacing nostro vostro accounts, pre-funded accounts. Stablecoins are just a form of rapid versions of fiat currency. So basically you take the dollar and you rebrand it and you call it USDC or RLUSD or fundamentally any sort of stablecoin, you name it. And if you move money with stablecoins, well, you still have one problem, that's that's still tied most, if you're using the dollar, let's say the dollar, you still tying that to the US dollar dominance. So you have all of the issues of the United States weaponizing the US dollar, for instance, which is one of the reasons why we need a decentralized currency that can't be instrumentalized by any single nation, that can't be printed out of thin air. And XRP replaces the need for nostro vostro accounts because it's a bridge currency. Stablecoins are not a bridge currency. You still need the pre-funded accounts. So primarily, okay, it's great to know that stablecoins are going to have a pivotal role on the global economy that signals blockchain adoption, but down the road, you still need a bridge currency, that's XRP. Think of nostro vostro accounts and it will all make sense. I think this is a good one. If I would buy a kilogram of gold or 20 kilos of silver, I think on this moment I would go for silver. I think it's more undervalued than gold. Who warned you to not do that investigation on dormant BTC? Wow, I want to talk about this briefly because this has costed me 200,000 followers and my account on Twitter. But, well, first, I put this investigation out and a couple of hours later, I got banned from Twitter. So it was very clear that something was going on. Back there, my Twitter started to get so much traction that I was ahead of Michael Saylor when it comes down to interactions, which is insane. And I want to unveil something that I never said on camera, but I did that investigation together with someone. I'll not mention his name for his privacy, but he did get a phone call and a very suspicious phone call. Basically, they were asking if his home was for sale, and they gave his address and they had all of the details about him that you can possibly imagine. And well, I'll not talk a lot about this subject because it's too sensitive for YouTube, but just to make you guys understand that I got some serious trouble from putting out that information, and that's why I don't do videos about that anymore. I don't show, I can come here and tell you, look guys, I have seen 2000 BTC from 2011 that's hitting centralized exchanges and they have been selling it, but I will never do a video about that anymore, showing on-chain information, because that's way too sensitive. That's all I can say. And yeah, I'm honest. I mean, if you look my channel, and I want to do this right now, just give me a second because I want to share the screen. But these things really got me in trouble, and all I was trying to do was to share real information. So I'm going to bring that to the screen because I have to be honest. If you go to my channel, you see that 6 months ago, you can watch those videos, okay? Those videos are the ones that got me in trouble. Somehow they are still live on YouTube, and this one is 6 months ago. Nobody's talking about this. This is the first one that got me in trouble. The second one was this one. The entire bull run is in danger. So I spotted 80,000 dormant BTC, and that was very close to the all-time high. So I was predicting the markets would go down, and I unveiled this information. And this one was also about the Bitcoin bull run being fundamentally over. So I spoke about this months ago. Unlike most of the creators, I was keeping a very realistic approach. I hope you guys have been listening to my content. Let's see these comments. Have you heard all the World Economic Forum talk about the failure of Bretton Woods? Yes, I have seen. I actually just recorded a video on them talking about the Bretton Woods 2.0. And by the way, you can Google it. It's called Reinventing the Bretton Woods Committee. That's an entity that is partnered with multiple players and central banks and regulatory authorities and the Monetary Authority of Singapore and a bunch of Ripple partners. And yes, they're going to come with a new Bretton Woods 2.0. And they organized a meeting inside the headquarters of the Bank of Spain. And guess who was invited to the table? Ripple. What they made a presentation about? XRP as a neutral bridge currency. And this comes to the question that someone asked before, that XRP replaces Nostro Vostro accounts. And in order to have a Bretton Woods 2.0, you need a neutral bridge assets. Once they detach the US dollar from gold, everything went like downwards, So they need a new system. And of course, for a Bretton Woods 2.0 to come into fruition, they need precious metals back on the game, but there must be an intersection between precious metals and blockchain technology, and XRP fills the gap. That's exactly what XRP was intended for. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. Every donation is reinvested back to my channel and to improve the quality of my content. I appreciate the comments, guys. It means a lot, I have been through a lot these months. I was 3 months without making any content. I was considering if I would ever come back and create content again, but I found the motivation, and it's a lot thanks to your comments. You guys sent me messages, you guys spammed my DMs on Instagram and also my YouTube notifications. So for that, I decided to come back and make content. Yes, I'm going to be in XRP Las Vegas once again. So whoever is in Las Vegas, I'm going to be very happy to meet you. What's happened to the so-called supply shock? Well, there is a supply shock. When you look for blockchain transactions, when you see the greatest sign I got of a supply shock from XRP, and this I have to give credits to XRP wallets on X. Basically, they have been for the first time touching the founder wallet. So you have Arthur Britto wallet, that this wallet was untouched for over a decade. Chris Larsen wallet is another one of the founder wallets. And they have been basically using Britto's wallet for on-demand liquidity. So it really signals that there's not enough XRP even to actually handle on-demand liquidity in the current times. Why the price hasn't skyrocketed yet? Well, it's simple. As I said before, most deals that they do with XRP, let's say selling to institutional buyers or central banks, they are not getting it from the exchanges. They are getting it OTC. Let me see these comments. The Danish are going to sell their US treasuries. If Europe follows, does this mean XRP hits $1.14 CoinSkid has targeted? I think if it hits $1.14, it's going to go much lower. So as I said before, it has to hold $1.60. If XRP doesn't hold $1.60, we're going to see much lower prices. That's why I pray this level will hold on the chart. I have buy orders near to $1.60, hoping it will bounce back on that support level on the chart. And by the way, guys, I have to start doing these live streamings in the morning time, because I am doing this so late in the night. Sometimes I am not so sharp at 2 in the morning. You know what I mean? Thanks. Yes, the channel is growing. I am very happy today because probably by the end of the day, I'm going to hit 50,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, let's just make sure you subscribe. I am like 50 subscribers away from 50,000. Ivan, you are asking about TARS AI. Well, I have done a couple of videos about TARS AI and I made profits. I took some profits of my TARS, and honestly, I still hold like 40% of my bag. But I have to be very honest, I haven't checked on the chart for a long time. So if you join the next live streaming, I want to take a few minutes to talk specifically about TARS. I'm going to be looking the chart. It's so many projects and charts, I just can't follow all of the charts. And I still hold it, by the way. Let's see, greeting. Oh, very unique country. By the way, guys, drop your location in the comments. I think this also helps the algorithm to deliver this live streaming to more people. So if you are based in the US, let me know in the comments. Australia, or someone is based in Vegas, that's phenomenal. SHX, I'm preparing an update about SHX. I do have a private trading group, but I'm opening the charts right now, and honestly, SHX is very close to the super levels also. It's very dangerous now. I have been advocating a lot for trading SHX in the past months. I did over 6 figures by trading SHX, but I'm well more conservative right now. I think we're going to see lower levels for SHX, unfortunately. So if you hold for the long term, you should not be concerned. But if you are trading SHX, it's wise to have a stop loss. I would have a stop loss close to the current levels. Thanks, Ivan. You are from Ireland, right? Yeah, thanks for that, man. I'm going to be providing some updates about TARS AI. They are the only project that's backed by Solana Foundation. That's why I found it so unique when I first bought it. No, HBAR and SHX, they don't compete with each other. First is 2 different technologies. One is a blockchain, the other is a hash graph. Of course, they are both enterprise driven, but I don't see them competing with each other, but I just see a system where they integrate an interoperable system where they can actually communicate with each other. I don't see them as competitors. I'm trying to answer all the questions, guys. It's just there's a lot of questions, and very good questions, by the way. I wish I had time to answer every single one of them. Someone say Flare is crashing. I have no idea what's the Flare price right now. We also have to understand that this crypto correction is also tied to the S&P 500. So it's all connected, you know. You can see that the S&P is dropping. And by the way, this is another thing. If you measure the S&P in gold, it's not going up, it's going down. So that's something to consider. Cold storage, and yeah, this is the way to go. Market's dumping hard. Yes, it's dumping hard. Well, XRP is actually at $1.89 right now. Not looking great, to be honest. Apologies. Let me know in the comments which charts you want me to have a look. I can prepare a next live streaming. By the way, I'm going to be in Dubai next week. I actually live in Greece for a couple of days. It's too cold and I just can't stand here on the cold. So If someone is in Dubai and want to catch up for a coffee, let me know. Wow, people watching me from all over the world. Florida, Munich, England, Canada, Brazil, Sydney, Australia, Poland, United Kingdom, USA, Texas, USA again. I appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot for the support. How cold is in Greece right now? Oh, yeah, well, it's actually 5 degrees. I know it sounds that I am overreacting about the cold, but it's just, I don't like cold. I like sun. That's why I live in Greece. We have sun like almost 80% of the year is actually sunny. But I see that the weather is not going to be great in the next 10 days. So I just decided to go to the desert in Dubai and get some sun. I am addicted to the sun, so thanks for that, Francesca. What's going on with the dump? Oh, that's around first Donald Trump tensions with Greenland. So it's about geopolitical tensions. But of course, if you watch the live from the beginning, I actually break it down that they have been dumping dormant BTC wallets on the markets. And also it's connected to the S&P 500. As you can see here on the screen, it's taking a massive hit today, and that's affecting the crypto markets as well. That's not one reason, it's like agglomerates of reasons. Coinbase CEO, I honestly don't care about what he says. República Dominicana. By the way, yeah, Dubai is like, I would never live in Dubai, but I like to spend the January and February in Dubai is just great because in Europe it's cold and I hate cold. And by the way, I am from the north of Italy and I grew up in very cold places like Lake of Como, Verona, Borghetto, which is our small village in the mountains. And by the way, I was used to cold, and then I lived in Portugal, I lived in Greece near to the sea, and I just got used, and now I just hate cold. I just can't stand it. I really don't like it. I like sun. I like to be by the sea. I like to take sun every day. So I can work from any place. Why should I be on a 5-degree weather for like 10 days? I would just live to Dubai. Oh, the name of the hotel, I stayed in Morocco. Actually, that was the favorite part of my trip. And if you guys ever plan to go to Morocco, I definitely recommend you to go to that hotel. I'm going to give you the name in a second because I forgot, but it's called, let me find it. It's just beautiful. I'll drop in the comments. It's called Riyadh Jannat, like this. By the way, Riyadh, I learned that it means in Arabic, it means garden. So they had this huge garden inside the hotel, which was just beautiful. And by the way, guys, when you want to interact with me, you can always send me a DM on Instagram. I try to answer everyone there. I take some time sometimes, but at least once a week I open my DMs and I try to answer everyone. Yeah, that makes sense. They came to Ireland and left again as it was too cold. If cold was the only problem, I mean, it's not only cold, it's the lack of sun. Let's see. I'm going to bring back XRP charts. Seems to be bouncing back. So let's see what's going on. $1.89. Well, actually still dangerous. I think we're going to see lower levels this week. I only pray XRP holds $1.60. That's all I can tell you guys. If you can't hold XRP for 2-3 years, you should have a stop loss just underneath $1.60 because things might get ugly. So I really pray XRP is not going to lose $1.60. And yes, I mean, this market collapse is just orchestrated. It's not happening by coincidence. It's not natural. I'm seeing some comments here. I'm trying to answer a lot of them. California, I know it's very sunny there. Well, someone is asking about the bond market in Japan. Honestly, I have not checked what's precisely happening today, so I can't answer you that. But there's definitely a lot of pressure on the Japanese bond market, which ultimately can lead to a tether collapse. That's interesting. I want to make a separated video on that. No, let me clarify this, okay? It's just, this question is good. Would you sell your XRP stop loss? I want to make this very clear. Let even me come back to the screen so people can actually understand it better. I don't need money. I don't need liquidity. So for this reason, I don't sell XRP. I have this strategy for the long time I hold XRP. I leave it in a cold wallet and I forget about it. If you trade XRP is a different way. I do have XRP, some of them in cold, 90% is in a cold wallet, but 10% I trade in exchanges. Now, this is the bag that I have stop losses. And if you need liquidity, let's say if you have your rent money on XRP, that's what I said that is wise to have a stop loss. You understand the distinction now? If you don't need that money to survive, you can just forget about it, live on the exchange, and that's how you win in crypto. Now, if someone has the rent money on XRP, then it's wise to have a stop loss. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. By the way, tomorrow I'll be live again, but with Francisco and Raul. It's actually the Spanish live streaming. If someone speaks Spanish, I'm going to be there tomorrow. Is stop loss a taxable event? Well, that depends on the jurisdiction. Of course, it's selling. I mean, it's the same as pressing the sell button. So that will depend on the jurisdiction. Monica Long made a good post on X. I am banned from Twitter, so I can't see anything on Twitter, which is funny. Let me know what she posted since I can't access it. Which cold wallet do you use? I ask since few folks, I don't know, lost it. I have at least 25 different wallet addresses, but multiple physical cold wallets. And my favorite one, I have two that I really like. One is a Tangem wallet and the other is Elipal. I really like those two devices. And by the way, if anyone wants to buy a cold wallet, I'm going to also drop a link in the description of this video. You can get a discount for Elipal wallets. Look, I have to say that he has some reasoning. I mean, Cardano CEO, he's not completely wrong. But what's happening is that the Clarity Act is going to wipe out the majority of the crypto industry. That's the reality as it is. I mean, there will be just a few survivors. Of course, XRP is among the survivors, so at least we're going to capitalize. But ultimately, the Clarity Act is against the original principles that blockchain technology was at least idealized, such as being a decentralized means of exchanging value. Nowadays, it's an instrument of control. This is true. At least we're going to be capitalizing on this transformation rather than being late adopters of a technology controlled by CBDCs. I mean, I can't make this any more clear than the window of opportunity is closing, and we need to get rich fast because the more government control it comes, the more CBDCs and the more regulation, the more difficult it will be. By the way, guys, I'm about to close the streaming. It's actually 2:30 EM in Greece, and I intend to actually publish a video today, so I still have to create the thumbnail. It's going to be about Davos. So if you get a notification about 40 minutes from now, please go check my new video. I actually break down some of the key takeaways from Davos 2026. I also share some videos from tokenization, Larry Fink, and also some documents. I actually unveiled a document from the World Economic Forum where they mention XRP as a means of exchanging money. Sorry, as a bridge currency, not a means of exchanging money. And yeah, I'm gonna get some rest. It's 2:30 EM in Greece. Gotta upload the video, create a thumbnail. I don't have my video editors working this month, and I want to get them back on the channel from February. So it's also going to increase the quality of my videos and decrease the workload that I have right now. I'm working too much. I just don't stop working like 24 hours a day, which is insane. And just to answer this question, I don't have a Spanish channel, but every Wednesday for like 3 or 2 years, I do a live streaming that's in Spanish with Fran de Osa and Raul from Formula Bullish. I speak Spanish, so we talk about XRP. It's basically a turning point, but in Spanish. So that's it. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to see you in the next live streaming.